Hey guys, this is X-Brace here. It's been a while since I made a video, right? So, basically, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be checking out the custom firmware for the SF2000. It's been a while since we talked about the SF2000, which is by Datafrog. Um, and so basically, we're going to be looking at a custom firmware, and there's some unfortunate news about the RetroArch build. I will go in detail right now of what actually happened, but I'm also going to share my screen. Um, just give me a moment. I'm gonna bring up the SF2000 um SF2000 GitHub before we actually can read it. Crap. My internet's being a bit slow right now. So give me a moment. Um okay. I'm gonna stop something really quick because it's lagging in my entire system. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting to Steam Big Picture. So I am going to be sharing my entire screen right now. And so um, we will look at this. Sorry for the infinite display. So, there has been an update to the custom firmware. It says, as of October 12th, 2023, no, not yet. However, efforts are underway while an SDK for the CPU has been identified. The developers working on the custom firmware have generally reached the conclusion that the SDK is unfinished, which is unfortunate, which sucks. That means they might not be able to do the custom firmware, possibly. I don't know. It just depends. The conclusion that the SDK is unfinished and of low quality, while it has been used to produce experimental builds of RetroArch, demonstrating various game systems operating on the SF2000, there are notable problems. Core features like video and audio drivers are missing, and this would have to be developed from scratch. And overall system stability is very low, which sucks. Additionally, most of the experimental system builds had audio or video performance issues, and most also caused the SF2000 to run hot when may impact the lifespan of the device. I get that have repo has been set up by, I can't really say that name, for the work based on this SDK. So then we're gonna continue on. Most recently, a new tack has been tried by the development team. They're trying to modify the stock SF2000 firmware to add additional functionality. Theoretically, this would come with the benefit of having audio and video drivers already built, providing no worse performance than stock firmware, while providing features like support for additions, emulated systems, and experimental developer build. has been produced and demonstrates additional systems like Atari 2600 and PC Engine running under the stock firmware. A GitHub repo has been set up for the work on modifying the stock firmware. We will view this. Really nothing as of yet. There is nothing uh big. You could compile this and possibly use it, but there's no documentation as of right now. It is called SF2000 multicore. This is not a custom firmware. I got this wrong. It's just a modified version of the firmware. So, um, uh, where do we leave off? Providing no worse performance. Oh wait, a GitHub repo has been set up by Kobil for work on modifying the stock firmware. So, I mean, I have tried the test build that they have provided. It is pretty good. I was able to play like Miss Pac-Man, which you wouldn't be able to play that game at all on the original. Um, and so we're going to um, then we're gonna do uh go right here. You can follow along with the discussion in the Retro Handhelds Discord server, specifically in the Data Frog SF2000 channel. There's a FF2000 dev thread where most of the tech talk and details are posted first. Then we're gonna go on noting. Any non-stock firmware is currently built for the SF2000 should be considered highly experimental and are not vetted to be safe to run. Example, current builds may push the hardware to its operational limits due to optimization issues and may incur thermal damage to the device if left running for too long. Such builds are not intended for day-to-day usage yet. If you're using if you're waiting for a safe custom firmware to be available, keep waiting. The currently experimental builds are not ready for prime time yet. So I guess they're basically not putting out the picture of the SF2000, like, not out of picture as of yet, which is a good thing, honestly, for the custom firmware. That's what it sounds like. Which, I mean, that is pretty good. We will be checking out the multicore, of how to set it up, because there is only one video on the tutorial, but it doesn't. It's in a different language that probably people understand, but I personally don't. Um, I only speak one language, unfortunately. Um, Give me a moment. Okay, so uh, okay, so I found my little micro SD card thing. I'm gonna be popping in my SF2000 memory card into it. I was saying that's how it goes in. It's supposed to get stuck kind of like straight. Okay, it's in there. Yes, it was. Okay, okay. So we are in the SF2000. Um, a little Discord in the retro handhelds. Retro handhelds is a pretty big community. It's ran by a couple people. Um, and this is mainly where a lot of people create custom firmware for a lot of the Chinese devices. So, basically, we're going to go into SF2000 dev, and we're going to go jump to this pin. You see where I'm going? Go to this pin, and then jump. So, basically, you also can, um, you can also, um, do all kinds of, like cores if you'd like. I'm gonna do Atari links. Do the multicore. You just want to click on this download right here. I use Internet Download Manager, but I already have that downloaded. So basically, you want to have your USB drive, which is actually your SD card over here. Um, and we are just going to extract it. I will be extracting with 7-zip. You can use the Windows built-in or whatever you're using. So, this is where it gets difficult. So, you guys got to listen to me closely. You want to drag these into here. I'm not going to do that because I already did that. So you want to do that, and then you want to go into ROMs. Actually, no. Go into cores. You see all these files except the config. Don't do the config one. But you know the A26C64 GB GBA PCE and SNES. You want to make sure in ROMs to create those folders the exact same name. Ignore save. That's where all your saves go. But for example, the A26 C64 GB and GBA PCE and SNES all in the ROM folder exactly the same as the cores. So, once you get some ROMs, I'm not gonna describe what I do to get my ROMs. Um, but, so, for example, you put your ROMs in these folders. It could be the standard, it could be the standard format if you want to. So the A26, for example, is a Atari 2600. C64 is Think Commodore 64. GB is Game Boy. GBA is Game Boy Advance. PC Engine. And SNES. If you run these cores, you may have a risk of plummeting your device. Um, and if you might, I'm not saying you will, but you might. Um, so, but this is like the stock firmware. but modified to add more cores. So it may not actually heat up at all. Prior to my testing, I haven't had any problems just yet. So you want to go back to your USB drive, and we're gonna take a look at this code. Don't edit anything in this code. Simply, what I understand, it's basically like it's just doing 4 cores and everything, and you just want to double click on this dot back, and it should create these files, which will be read by the core system, which is honestly cool. So I will be showing a little bit of gameplay of some of these things. Like SNES is actually good with these cores. You know how bad SNES was on this device. And it looks like a SNES clone, right? A clone of a controller. SNES did not run good on this on this on this device. So I am going to be showing some video proof that this actually works. Your scene will be looking a lot different than mine, but if you have the same scene as me, prompts to you. But if you don't don't freak out. I still have the same operating system as you. Um, but anywho, we're gonna be jumping to my phone. I will be filming inside my kitchen because it's a lot more bright there. And plus I'm gonna have my thing. And but yeah. So anywho, we're gonna start testing this. I have put a few games into there. So yeah. We will be back. So, after a few days of recording the very first part of this video, I have finally decided to fully record this video. It's been a couple days, honestly. Um, but so basically, we're going to be checking out some things on the SF2000. Of the multicore. As we installed the multicore, and they also gave us uh, everything that we need to know about it, as they sent us some test builds, noting these are for testing and not for general use. Some of these cores will not work well as of right now, but here is the deal. You can use them properly. So what I am saying is there are some proper cores they have provided that actually work pretty good. I will be showing them off here right now, as they're actually pretty good. I put during the few days, I have put some external cores that were recommended, like Neo Geo Game Gear, and those work perfectly fine. Even Game Boy Advance actually works pretty good, honestly, which is cool. I'm glad to see that, as Game Boy Advance was not perfect on this device, especially SNES. guess what? This actually plays SNES pretty good. But I am gonna put my battery in to my SF2000, and we are gonna be showing it. So as you can see, this is my seam. If so, basically, what you want to do in the multi-core is you go to the game list, and as you can see, we have Atari 2600. A26 stands for Atari 2600. And I actually have two games that I'm going to be showing you guys. Sorry for the angle. I don't have my streaming set up anymore because we had to rearrange this room, unfortunately. So I'm sorry that my hand and everything is in the way. We're gonna be launching up an Atari 2600 game to just show you it actually works. I'm going to be launching up Miss Pac-Man. So as you can see, it's actually playing Miss Pac-Man, which is cool. And then of course you press start, and it works, honestly. I do recommend using the analog stick for these type of games because stock D-pad is not good for a fast input game like Miss Pac-Man, and but yeah, as you can see, we're still alive. That's how Miss Pac-Man actually works. They put you as you can see, this game isn't perfect for the FF2000. Man, that's a mouthful. But it's it's like Pac-Man and everything is not perfect for this system unless you modify the D-pad. And plus, I've always sucked at Pac-Man. Which we're gonna quit. Let's check out Doom 2. It actually runs. I think this is a Game Boy Advance version, I think. But yeah, I should have checked. As you can see, it is loading up. As you can see, it's not good. It's super laggy. This device cannot play Doom on this system, at least. I haven't tried with SNES at all. It's just this system is not good with 3D environments like this. I mean, if you really want to play Doom like this, you can. I mean, old-fashioned computers used to play Doom like this. That weren't very heavy, but it is. I mean, if you want to play it like this, personally, I don't. I'm used to playing the game on a lot of FPS. But I will show you a game that is actually on this system that doesn't run that good. Which, as you can see, Yoshi's Island is actually playing, which is insane. Before this game was horrendous at loading in everything. We do have some screen tearing on top of here. That's not too bad. honestly. But I haven't even personally played this game at all. But but yeah, we will go to Super Mario World to show you that SNES is actually at full speed on this device through the multicore. I mean, it's amazing of what the creators have actually done for the multicore for this device. Because the SF2000 for like 14, 15 bucks, if you get the welcome deal, is actually pretty crazy that you actually can get this. And it does have custom firmware coming, and they're letting people test it, which is cool. I personally won't be testing out the Retro Arch build, because that is actually available, but I just don't want to fry my system, pretty much. Even with these cores you're running, there is a chance you can fry your system. If you install a wrong core that's not recommended for use. I know I suck at Mario. It's also because I'm looking at this angle. But yeah, it's pretty promising, guys, that these cores, this multi-core they have made, it is getting good. So that Doom 2 with GBA, we will go to Game Gear. We'll play something I've personally never tried. Because I know some Game Gear games are actually 3D. As you can see, Game Gear is full speed, which is insane to think about. How are they doing this? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know this game. Let's quit. I will show you Mortal Kombat. It's like the original for the Game Gear. It's not perfect, but it does its job. But we'll see. Game Gear is stock, but the performance is not that good. Just like SNES on this handheld, it's not that good. But yeah. But as you can see, the original Mortal Kombat is actually working on here. Yet again, the original Mortal Kombat on the Game Gear is not as featured, though. Looks like we actually won. my eggs out of here because uh that is actually pretty much it. Um but like at like it is really good. Everything's perfect with this handheld. And you can steam it of how you want too, which is insane. I'm gonna be taking out my battery, and I'm gonna be showing you what my SD card looks like. At least try to. Actually, I forgot this SD card that I'm currently using in here was water damaged back last year. I fell inside a freaking pool, sadly, and my phone took a swim with me. Um, and unfortunately, this was this phone that I'm using to record all my videos with. So, um, because my Google Pixel unfortunately doesn't have a working camera, but I'm working on getting that fixed. OEM parts like that is pretty cheap. Why did I put my battery back in? I still have the standard battery that they gave me. It's simply unlabeled, as you can see. But I like they have a removable battery like this. You can buy more to make the life last a lot longer. But I highly advise you get a battery that has built-in over voltage because this handheld does not have that. And it could fry your components. So it's a bit risky. I don't recommend just buying a random one. Do some research about companies that actually sell them. I know there's a particular website that's extremely safe to get these batteries. Just I don't trust AliExpress for that kind of stuff. A lot of people purchase their batteries there, but I personally don't trust them. But anyways, I'm gonna be ending this video here. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. See ya.